It is the Blitz, 1250 ESPN San Antonio, 94.5 FM, and the new ESPN San Antonio app. Big win yesterday for the Cowboys, and of course turning around in short order to get ready for Thursday's game against Carolina. Let's talk about it with Cowboys head coach Jason Garrett, joining us now on the Wilkes Air Conditioning and Heating Hotline at wilksair.com, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. Coach, it's been a long time since we've had a Victory Monday show. Congrats on getting that one yesterday.
Yeah, thanks so much, guys. How you doing?
We are well, and I imagine, you too, although we were just talking about not a lot of time to get to enjoy that win yesterday with the game coming up on Thursday against an undefeated Carolina team.
Oh, yeah, we're on to the next one. We just got off the field. We had a walkthrough on Carolina, and we met on them, really throughout the day. So they're obviously a really, really good football team. They're 10-0 and arguably the best team in the National Football League right now, and it's easy to see why. They're good in all three phases. They've got a lot of talented guys, and they play the right way. So it'll be a heck of a challenge for us in a couple days.
There's a lot of excitement that Tony Romo came back this week, and it seems like not just the offense coach. It seems like the whole team kind of went. For some reason, he elevated everybody else on the team, and it showed last night. And what have you seen from Tony Romo here the last few years? Because before, when I was with him early in his career, it didn't seem like he had that ability to elevate everybody else like he did last night.
Well, Tony's been a really good player for a long time, and he's been our starting quarterback and been a Pro Bowl guy for a reason. He's done an outstanding job for us, not only playing but leading our team for a number of years, and I think he just has the respect of his teammates. He has an immense amount of credibility, and he's just a really good player. And I do think the intangible qualities are a big part of playing the quarterback position. He certainly has them to go along with his ability to make plays and execute our offense. And it wasn't a perfect performance by any means by him yesterday. Had a couple interceptions that he'd like to have back, but he did so many positive things for us. And I think you're right. The spirit that he has and the competitive nature that is just a part of who he is contagious throughout our football team, and brings a lot of confidence not only the offensive unit but to everybody on our team. And certainly was a big part of our win yesterday.
Dallas Cowboys head coach Jason Garrett with us here on ESPN San Antonio, brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds. And the team I saw yesterday looked familiar. Did you feel like you got your identity back with number 9 there? You ran the ball well, you threw the ball well, very physical in nature, defense played well?
Well, I thought we played a good game, and they're a team that's played well over the last month or so, and they're a physical football team. So we felt like that was going to be important for us, in all three phases of our team. And I thought we did a good job, being physical throughout the ball game. I thought it showed up, particularly at the end of the game, in that 4-minute drive, and then what we were able to do on defense to not let them get any momentum offensively. So I do think yesterday's performance was a team win, and everybody was a part of it. And I do think you like the identity of our team, but I do want to make this point over the last 7 weeks. I do think our team has played the right way and battled the right way and scratched and clawed and fought, and I think we did that again yesterday. And the biggest difference was when it came to the critical moments of the game at the fourth quarter, we did what we needed to do to win. It was 14-14 going into the fourth quarter. We scored 10. We held them to 0. We had 3 really good drives. They weren't able to get anything started. It was the offense, it was the defense, the kicking game set us up for one of our field goals to go up by 2 scores. So everybody had a piece of it, and we all did what we needed to do at the critical moments of the game in the fourth quarter.
Coach, when you talk about the defense that played so well this year, and when you play in the short week and had a chance to play in the short week, a lot of time during Thanksgiving, it's only 4 days in between the first game and the second game. Your defense only played about 40 snaps yesterday. How fortunate is that going into a short week on Thursday?
I thought that was a really good byproduct of the game. And, a lot of times people say, time of possession is all about the offense's ability to control the ball. And that's true. We're 7 out of 14 on third down. We had long drives in the game. We possessed the ball. But the other piece of it is your defense's ability to get off the field. And, they were 1 out of 10 on third down. So our defense did a great job, creating some 3-and-outs, getting off the field on third down. And then our offense did its part to possess the ball. And one of the byproducts of that is our defense, like you said, I think played 41 snaps in the game, and hopefully on a short week that'll benefit us.
And obviously you get the touchdown, too, the nice pick six from Orlando McClain.
Yeah, a huge play. And if you think about that sequence there, Tony had a really good drive going with our offense. And then, on the third down, they pressured us. And, the miscommunication between him and Dez, and they get an interception down in the red zone. But we make the tackle, and then the quarter flips. We go to the second quarter, and then on the third play, Orlando McClain makes that play and really changes the game in so many ways. Oftentimes how a team responds to sudden change, a turnover, is really critical to the outcome of the game. And I think our guys on defense responded well there. Really, it's hard to respond better than intercepting the ball and running in for a touchdown.
Is exactly what you want. Jason Garrett with us here on ESPN San Antonio. You mentioned that miscommunication between Dez and Tony. Is that a byproduct of just rust and Tony not playing there? Because the way he reacted, what the TV camera showed, made it look like he thought Dez had run the wrong route, but Dez was explaining he thought Dez made the right route and Tony made the wrong read.
Well, it's a combination of things. I don't want to get into too much of the details. But
come on, Coach.
No, there's communication in the huddle, there's communication at the line, and then there's communication after the snap. And everybody being on the same page, was critical. And on one of those levels, they weren't on the same page. They saw things differently, and that's what happened. So the time on task and 11 guys playing together, those are the things that we really emphasize. And it's a great learning experience for both of them, and hopefully it won't happen again.
Coach, you guys do a great thing on scouting. You guys do a great job on scouting, and it seems like you guys always find good players somewhere during the season. And when I look back at last night's game, you see Robert Turbin, who's there for 3-4 days of practice, and he came in and played, showed their physicality. On defense, there was David Irvin, who you guys picked up from the Kansas City practice squad, who played a lot late in the game. What are you guys doing differently on scouting that you guys are so successful getting these guys coming in and being successful?
It's interesting. We've been able to do this, really over the last few years. And if you remember, a couple of years ago, we were decimated on the defensive line, and we had a number of guys coming in on Wednesday and Thursday, and they were playing 30 or 40 snaps, in the game on Sunday. And those guys do a great job knowing the landscape of personnel. Who's out there on rosters, who's on practice rosters, who's on the street. They have long lists, they have short lists, and they have guys, when they've last worked out, when they've last been with a team, who's most ready to play, what systems are they comfortable with, all that kind of stuff. And, Turbin, was a guy who has been a good player in this league, was Marshawn Lynch's backup in Seattle, and had done a good job for them. He got hurt in the preseason this year, and they eventually moved on from him. But he's a guy that we've had our eye on, and it's a real refreshing experience for us as coaches to have a guy like that come in and be such a professional. And he came in early Wednesday morning and really went right to work. I mean, he shook a couple hands, and before he knew it, he was in a meeting, and he was on a practice field, and just handled it all really well. And, one of the great challenges when you come from a different system is the language. A lot of the concepts but it's like, what do we call this, and what are the little nuances and details? And he spent a lot of time this week, really getting himself, acclimated to how we do things. And for him to be able to go in the game and be as productive as he was, real tribute to him and the approach that he takes.
And you guys have had success picking up some running backs out of the Seattle system, although, he was made available and added to the team when you guys last week released Corey White and C. Mike, and Corey said that he was cut because he didn't wear a suit to Tampa Bay.
Oh, I don't think that's accurate. Each of our players, they get evaluated every minute of every day, and there's a body of work over time that they present to us as coaches. And Corey did some good things for us when he was here, but we evaluate these guys really every minute of every day in meetings and walkthroughs and practice, and certainly what happens in the game. And we just felt like, in both those cases, it was best for our team, to move on from those guys and give other guys opportunities. And, excited about the guys who are stepping into those roles, and hopefully they can take advantage of them.
Cowboys head coach Jason Garrett with us here on ESPN San Antonio. And, Coach, you've got Carolina on a short week. It looked like you got out of Miami without any major injuries, although Byron Jones very late, might be the last play. Is Byron okay, and is he going to be able to go on Thursday?
Well, he hurt his ankle, and like you said, very late in the ball game. But we're optimistic. He seemed like he was good last night when he came in today. He seemed good moving around on our walkthrough. So, hopeful here over the next couple of days that he'll get better and better and be ready to go.
On the scouting report of Cam Newton, a couple minutes on Cam, and what do you think about him and development as a player? He lost his best receiver in the regular season. Seemed like he's taking this team and doing whatever they can to win games. And what is your first assessment on Cam Newton?
Well, he's a great player, and there's no question about that. He's a really physically talented guy, and he's been a really good leader for their team. And they do so many different things with him. You see him, run a lot of the zone read type stuff that he's so effective at, and that challenges in so many different ways when the quarterback can be such an effective runner. And I think he's really grown as a pocket passer. He can get himself out of trouble, and he keeps his eyes down the field, makes a lot of plays out on the move. So he's certainly a very, very dangerous player, certainly the leader of their team, and they got a lot of good weapons around him. Jonathan Stewart's a really good back, and they got some receivers outside, and Ted Ginn and some of the other guys they throw the ball to, and then Olsen, their tight end, is someone who's kind of a go-to guy for Cam as well. So a lot of different weapons, but it really starts with him and his ability to attack the defense.
And defensively for Carolina, they got a pair of linebackers that remind me of Coakley and Wynn.
Well, I don't know if they can go that. It's a high standard. Those two guys, but I'll tell you what, they got a great defense. They really do, and their front is outstanding. When you talk about Kuechly and Thomas Davis and Shaq Thompson, all the other guys that they have playing linebacker, they play the right way, and their secondary is outstanding. They make a lot of plays on the ball. They're number one in the NFL in taking the ball away. They got 25 turnovers, and they just do such a good job. Creating opportunities for their offense by their ability to take the ball away. So that's certainly going to be a high priority for us this week, as it is every week. And, they challenge in a lot of different ways. We got to play great football. There's no question about that.
Coach Jason Garrett on a win yesterday. Very short week. Always appreciate the time.
Always enjoy it, guys. Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Happy Thanksgiving to you.
Okay.
Coach Jason Garrett on the victory. Man, good stuff. You heard from the coach. Let's hear from you. 656-ESPN, 656-3776. Our conversation with Coach Jason Garrett brought to you by AA Best Bail Bonds.